Gold and Silver's post-game shows us Kanto 3 years later, but what if you could have journeyed through Johto while the events of Red and Blue were still happening? A lot can change in 3 years, and I don't think the gym leaders we see in Gold and Silver would have necessarily been the same gym leaders we would have challenged had Johto been available to us during the events of Red and Blue. So, in this video, I'm going to reimagine Johto's gym leaders before the events of Gold and Silver, decide who I think they were, and what their teams may have looked like. I'll also be constructing this video as if it were a modern Pokémon game, complete with the addition of the fairy typing. I'll be sticking to using Pokémon from Gens 1 and 2 for this video, but future evolutions of those Pokémon would be obtainable, such as Porygon Z and Annihilape. So let's jump back in time and head to our first stop, Violet City. In the Gen 2 games, Falkner is the gym leader of Violet City. However, in his dialogue upon defeating him in both Gold and Silver, we learn that Falkner is using his father's Pokémon. Since we're journeying through Johto 3 years before the events of those games, I think it would make sense that Falkner's father was the gym leader of Violet City. There isn't a lot of information out there about Falkner's father, but there is a character in the Pokémon Adventures manga who's speculated to be Falkner's father. And though there's no definitive proof that this character is his father, I'm going to go ahead and use his name and likeness for the role. So, say hello to the first gym leader of this fictional prequel, Walker. Instead of handing out the TMs for Mudslap or Roost like Falkner does in the Gen 2 games and the Gen 4 remakes respectively, I've chosen to have Walker award the TM for Aerial Ace, a 60 base power physical flying type move that never misses. As for Walker's team, he'll have the following. Hoot Hoot, level 11 with the Keen Eye ability holding an Oranberry with the moves Peck, Echoed Voice, Confusion, and Roost. Pidgey, level 13 with the Keen Eye ability holding an Oranberry with the moves Tackle, Gust, Quick Attack, and Mudslap. And finally, Walker's Ace, Skarmory, level 14 with the Sturdy ability holding a Citrus Berry with the moves Peck, Sand Attack, Fury Attack, and Aerial Ace. Hoot Hoot is a natural fit for Walker's team, and honestly, I've never understood why it wasn't part of Falkner's. It's the very first Gen 2 bird you can encounter in Gold and Silver, yet instead of giving it to the city's flying type gym leader, the games gave it to a sage in Sprout Tower. I mean seriously, Falkner, Bugsy, Morty, and Chuck all rely on Kanto Pokemon when Natu, Yanma, Misdreavus, and Hitmontop were right there. Here, I've corrected that oversight. To tie things together, I've also given Hoot Hoot Roost as a nod to Heart Gold and Soul Silver, where Falkner hands out that TM. When it comes to bird Pokemon, it's hard to not picture Pidgey. It's an iconic Gen 1 Pokemon, and makes sense to include on Walker's team. Mudslap, just like Roost, is a nod to Falkner and his TM from Gold and Silver. Skarmory, as Walker's ace, comes from his manga appearance. Its 140 base defense stat might seem intense, but without a Steel-type move and with Geodude available early on in Dark Cave, the battle against Walker should prove to be a fair but memorable challenge. And now that we've earned our first gym badge, let's move on to Azalea Town. Bugsy is the gym leader of Azalea Town in the Gen 2 games. He's known as the Walking Bug Pokemon Encyclopedia and has a passion for researching bug Pokemon. He's also younger, and as such, I believe it makes sense if rather than him being Azalea Town's gym leader, what if he was one of the gym trainers in this fictional prequel? This gives him a chance to discover how much he loves battling with bug Pokemon, while allowing himself time to continue his research. The question then needs to be asked, if Bugsy isn't the gym leader, who is? And don't worry, I won't drag out the mystery. Say hello to Azalea Town's gym leader, Kurt, the Pokeball craftsman we meet in Gold and Silver. He's older and likely retired by the time we meet him in Gold and Silver, but given his history, his passion, and the role he played during the Slowpoke Well storyline with Team Rocket, it makes sense that he could have once led Azalea's gym. Kurt uses a Shuckle to help craft Pokeballs from apricorns, so he clearly has ties to the bug typing. Unlike Bugsy, who hands out Fury Cutter or U-Turn in the Gen 2 and Gen 4 games respectively, Kurt rewards the player with the TM for Bug Bite, a 60 base power physical bug type move that steals and consumes the target's berry. As for Kurt's team, he'll have the following: Yanma, level 17 with the Speed Boost ability, holding an Oran Berry with the moves Quick Attack, Double Team, Air Cutter, and U-Turn. Pinsir, level 18 with the Hyper Cutter ability, holding an Oran Berry with the moves Focus Energy, Seismic Toss, Fury Cutter, and Bug Bite. And finally, we have Kurt's ace, Shuckle, level 19 with the Gluttony ability, holding a Figgy Berry with the moves Withdraw, Wrap, Rollout, and Bug Bite. Similar to how I paid respects to Faulkner's TMs by including them in Walker's team, I wanted to do the same with Bugsy for Kurt. Yanma having U-Turn and being Kurt's first Pokemon allows him to get an attack in, then switch out to either Pinsir or Shuckle depending on the situation. Pinsir uses Fury Cutter and with a base 125 attack, should be able to take full advantage of it. Though, just like with Walker, if you have a Geodude or an Onix, I'm sure you can make short work of both Yanma and Pinsir. Shuckle, however, is a whole other problem. You see, Shuckle has abysmal stats when it comes to HP, attack, special attack, and speed, but its defenses are sky high. And though Wrap, Rollout, and Bug Bite won't do much damage, I want Shuckle to be able to shine in this battle. In Gold and Silver, Shuckle was mostly forgotten, just a gift Pokemon given to you that you most likely boxed before ever leaving Cianwood City. I think it would be nice to give Shuckle a little bit of the spotlight as Kurt's ace, and with that Figgy Berry as its held item and coupled with the Gluttony ability, don't get too comfortable thinking this will be a quick fight. The Figgy Berry restores half of the user's HP, and the Gluttony ability will ensure that Shuckle eats its berry long before its HP ever enters the red. And with your second batch acquired, let's move on to the next location that gives every Gold and Silver fan PTSD, Goldenrod City. It's no surprise that Goldenrod City is often talked about as having one of the toughest gym battles in all of Pokemon. Whitney and her Miltank frustrated many of us young millennials back in the day, and then they got to frustrate us all over again in Heart Gold and Soul Silver almost a decade later. It's that level of legendary stature that brought me to the conclusion that Whitney would be Goldenrod City's gym leader in this prequel, but she's only the gym leader because Ruby and Sapphire happened concurrently with Red and Blue. Whitney is a brand new gym leader in Goldenrod City, having taken the position from the previous gym leader, Norman. Norman was Goldenrod City's gym leader prior to Whitney, and while he may not have lived in the city, he took great pride in being its gym leader. You see, Norman and his family are originally from Olivine City, and while that's a great reason as to why he could have been Olivine City's gym leader, if Norman is willing to travel to Petalburg City to be its gym leader despite living in Littleroot in the Hoenn region, then I see no reason as to why he wouldn't have traveled from Olivine City to Goldenrod City. Since Whitney is the gym leader in this prequel, let's talk about her. If you're able to defeat Whitney, she'll award you with the TM for Attract, a normal type status-based move that inflicts infatuation to an opposing Pokemon of the opposite gender. Whitney awards the player with this TM in both the Gen 4 games and the Gen 4 remakes, and because it fits Whitney so damn well, I felt that there was no reason to change it. As for Whitney's team, she'll have the following: Jigglypuff, level 23, with the Cute Charm ability, holding an Oran Berry with the moves Disarming Voice, Round, Rest, and Attract. Girafarig, level 24, with the Inner Focus ability, holding an Oran Berry with the moves Stomp, Psybeam, Agility, and Attract. And finally, her ace, Miltank, level 25, with the Scrappy ability, holding a Chople Berry with the moves Rollout, Headbutt, Milk Drink, and Attract. Since Clefairy has been retconned to being a fairy type, I feel that Jigglypuff makes a suitable replacement. Its secondary fairy typing helps Whitney fend off fighting types, which is her only weakness as a normal type specialist, which is why she also has a Girafarig. Girafarig is normal psychic, and with a respectable base 90 special attack, Psybeam is nothing to scoff at if you dare to keep your fighting type Pokemon in battle, And before you leave me a comment saying that Girafarig isn't a cute Pokemon, which in turn doesn't fit with Whitney's theme, may I remind you that her ace is a literal cow. If Whitney finds a cow utterly adorable, then there's no reason to think that she wouldn't find a giraffe just as cute. And speaking of cows, we have Whitney's ace, Miltank. Between Attract, Rollout, and Milk Drink, Miltank is a f***ing menace. And sure, you can switch out to a female Pokemon to dodge Attract, but then you're still staring down Rollout's snowballing power and Milk Drink's infuriating healing. Maybe you've got a female Machop who's ready to throw hands. That's cool. What are you gonna do about a stab headbutt? And don't you for a second believe that you'll be outspeeding Miltank either, because with a base 100 speed, Miltank outspeeds every fighting type in Gens 1 and 2, minus Hisuian Sneasel and Paldean Tauros, the latter of which Miltank speed ties. You can't even confidently bring in a ghost type to this battle either, because Miltank has a Scrappy ability, which lets her send ghost types back to the graveyard. Expect flinches, expect frustration, and even if you do line up that perfect fighting type hit, her Choppleberry will soften the blow. So yeah, even as a brand new gym leader in this prequel, Whitney has all the tools to take your team and put it out to pasture. And if, by the grace of Arceus, you are able to defeat Whitney and earn your 3rd gym badge, then it'll be time to head north to your next gym leader challenge in Ecruteak City. Ecruteak City is steeped in tradition and legends. From the sacred bell tower where Ho-Oh is said to perch, to the burned tower's haunting ruins, every corner of this city tells a story. The Ecruteak Dance Theater is home to the Kimono Girls and their team of evolutions, adding even more beauty to the city's rich legacy. Morty may one day haunt this gym with his ghost types, but in this prequel, the spotlight belongs to someone far more dazzling. Striding down the runway, making waves in Ecruteak as both a rising model and an upcoming fashion designer, is Valerie, the future fairy-type gym leader of Olivine City from Pokémon X and Pokémon Y. Her gym doubles as a runway, much like Elisa's in Black 2 and White 2, with challengers walking the same path models do before they face her. The runway itself is brightly lit, but the seating areas on either side are darkened, spotlighting the performer in the center. Years later, when Morty takes over, the same setup will be converted into the dim, maze-like path that we've all come to know. While Valerie isn't a kimono girl, she deeply admires their artistry and grace, and with Sylveon by her side, she's earned their respect. Like them, she's a Johto native, and while it's never directly stated that she lived in Ecruteak City, her Kyoto dialect strongly suggests a connection, especially since Ecruteak is modeled after Kyoto, Japan. Valerie is also a dreamer with big ambitions. Though she still calls Johto home for now, she aspires to take her talents to Kalos, the fashion capital of the Pokemon world, to elevate her designs and share them with a global audience. But that's a story for the future. Right now, she's here in Ecruteak, and she's ready to test your strength in battle. Should you defeat Valerie, she'll award you with a TM for Dazzling Gleam, an 80 base power special fairy type move that showcases the strength of the fairy typing quite well. When you challenge Valerie for the 4th gym badge, her team will be Clefairy, level 28, with the Magic Guard ability holding an Oranberry with the moves Sing, Metronome, Moonlight, and Dazzling Gleam. Azumarill, also level 28, with the huge power ability holding an Oranberry with the moves Charm, Rollout, Aquatail, and Play Rough. Mr. Mime, level 29, with the Filter ability holding a Citrus Berry with the moves Encore, Psybeam, Reflect, and Dazzling Gleam. And finally, Valerie's ace, Sylveon, level 30, with the cute Charm ability holding the Wise Glasses with the moves Calm Mind, Swift, Mud Slap, and Dazzling Gleam. And since Whitney no longer has Clefairy due to it being retconned to a pure fairy type, I thought this would be the perfect lead for Valerie. Between Sing putting your Pokemon to sleep and Moonlight keeping Clefairy healthy, it could present a challenge. Metronome opens up endless possibilities from Growl to Quiver Dance to Shadow Ball or even Explosion, making Clefairy unpredictable if not dealt with quickly. Azumarill is a powerhouse physical attacker. Huge power doubles its attack stat, and when combined with Rollout, Aqua Tail, or Play Rough, it can take out one or more of your Pokemon in short order. Its low speed gives you the chance to hit first, so bring strong electric, grass, or poison type moves to deal with Azumarill before Azumarill deals with you. Mr. Mime's filter ability reduces the damage of super effective moves, so an Iron Head that should do 2 times damage will only do 1.5 times instead. With a base 100 special attack, Psybeam and Dazzling Gleam pack a punch, and though Mr. Mime's defense is much lower than its special defense, Reflect can make her surprisingly sturdy. Sylveon is Valerie's most dangerous threat, with a base 110 special attack, 130 special defense, and access to Calm Mind, especially if Reflect is still active. A boosted Dazzling Gleam combined with the Wise Glasses will hit incredibly hard, even to the Pokemon who resist Fairy-type attacks. Steel and Poison types aren't completely safe either, thanks to Mud Slap, which lowers accuracy. And while the move's 20 base power isn't threatening, its ability to lower accuracy can make it difficult to get a hit in on Sylveon. Still though, Sylveon's base 65 defense stat leaves it physically frail, so a strong physical hit can bring it down. And once you've earned your 4th gym badge from Valerie, it's time to head west to your next destination in this prequel journey, Olivine City. In the mainline games, Jasmine is the 6th gym leader of Johto, but that's only because you have to travel to Cianwood City first to get medicine for Amphi, the sick Ampharos at the lighthouse. If Ampharos hadn't been sick, it's very likely Jasmine would be the 5th gym leader, which is exactly why I've placed Olivine City in the 5th spot in this prequel. As mentioned before, Olivine City was home to Norman and his family, and it's currently home to Jasmine and hers as well. Jasmine is a shy, kind-hearted young trainer who loves Rock-type Pokemon, but has a growing fascination with Steel-types. She spends much of her time at the lighthouse caring for Ampharos, and she's known to travel frequently, visiting the fighting dojo in Saffron City and Kanto, and even participating in super contests in Sinnoh with her Pokemon. Becoming a gym leader runs in her family, and while she hasn't quite stepped into that role yet, it's definitely on her horizon. For now, Olivine's gym is led by her grandfather, Myron. Myron isn't a character in the main series games, but he does appear in the Pokemon anime. And since I'm drawing inspiration from the manga for Faulkner's father, why not do the same with the anime for Jasmine's grandfather? Defeating Myron earns you the TM for Flash Cannon, an 80 base power special Steel-type move with a chance to lower your opponent's special defense. With so few Steel-type moves in the franchise, Flash Cannon helps Myron stand out from Jasmine. When you challenge Myron, his team will be Scizor, level 32, with the Technician ability, holding an Aqua Berry with the moves Quick Attack, Wing Attack, Bullet Punch, and U-Turn. Forretress, level 33, with the Sturdy ability, holding a Custat Berry with the moves Spikes, Self-Destruct, Bug Bite, and Flash Cannon. Onix, also level 33, with the Sturdy ability, holding a Citrus Berry with the moves Rock Slide, Stealth Rock, Bulldoze, and Iron Tail. And finally, his ace, Magneton, level 34 with the Sturdy ability, holding an Air Balloon with the moves Thunder Wave, Tri-Attack, Thunderbolt, and Flash Cannon. Though Scizor is slower than Scyther, its priority moves ensure that it will always attack first, and coupled with its base 130 attack and the Technician ability, you better pray to Arceus that Scizor doesn't sweep your entire team. And even if you bring a Fire type, Scizor's Aqua Berry will weaken the first Fire type attack delivered to Scizor, and in return, it can U-turn on out to Onix. Forretress, while sharing that same crippling 4x weakness to Fire, fills a very different role on Myron's team. It can set up multiple layers of spikes, punishing anything that switches in that's not a flying type or has the Levitate ability. And thanks to its Sturdy ability and the Custat Berry it holds, which allows the user to attack with priority upon entering the red, Forretress is guaranteed to survive at least one knockout blow and strike back first on the following turn. That priority could mean a well-timed self-destruct, potentially taking down your Fire type in the process and swinging momentum in Myron's favor. Onix may not be a Steel type, but it gives Myron coverage against Fire types since Onix both resists Fire attacks and can deal super effective damage against them with Rock Slide and Bulldoze. Stealth Rock adds another layer of hazards, while Iron Tail is an homage to what will later become Jasmine's TM that she offers upon her defeat in both the Gen 2 and Gen 4 games. And then there's Myron's ace, Magneton. The air balloon item blocks ground type moves, and Sturdy ensures it can survive a would-be one-shot attack. Magneton's incredibly high 120 special attack means that its Thunderbolt, Tri-Attack, and Flash Cannon can knock out your Pokemon before you even get the chance to land that second hit. If, however, you've managed to defeat Myron and earn your 5th gym badge, it'll be time to set sail through routes 40 and 41 and make your way to Cianwood City. Cianwood City doesn't change much between this prequel and the Gen 2 games. Chuck remains the gym leader, and I see no reason to replace him as he's old enough to have held the title 3 years prior. So, with little to reimagine here, let's jump straight into the battle. If you defeat Chuck, he'll award you with a TM for Close Combat, a 120 base power physical fighting type move that lowers the user's defense and special defense by 1 stage. It's a huge upgrade from his past TMs, Dynamic Punch, which only has 50% accuracy, and Focus Punch, which fails if the user is hit. Close Combat might seem a bit strong for a gym leader, but honestly, I like a Pokemon game that presents a challenge. Chuck's team in this prequel will be Hitmontop, level 37, with the Intimidate ability, holding an Oranberry with the moves Fake Out, Quick Attack, Sucker Punch, and Close Combat. Primeape, level 38, with the Anger Point ability, holding a Lumberry with the moves Focus Energy, Thrash, Rage Fist, and Dynamic Punch. Poliwrath, level 39 with the Water Absorb ability, holding a Citrus Berry with the moves Hypnosis, Body Slam, Waterfall, and Focus Punch. And finally, Chuck's ace, Heracross, level 40 with the Guts ability, holding a White Herb with the moves Aerial Ace, Brick Break, Lunge, and Close Combat. Hitmontop leads by cutting your attack with Intimidate, immediately putting your physical attackers at a disadvantage. From there, it hits with Fake Out for free chip damage, forcing you to flinch on the opening turn. Combined with the ability to fire off Close Combat, this allows Hitmontop to stay threatening even after it's had its defenses dropped. It's tempting to give Chuck Annihilate here, but since his original team is comprised of Primeape and Poliwrath, I wanted to feature both of them on his team. Rage Fist gives Primeape coverage against ghost types, and with Anger Point, 1 unlucky crit will boost its attack stat through the roof. Poliwrath is all about setup. If Hypnosis lands, then Focus Punch lands, and that's one hell of a hit you're not going to want to take. And even if Hypnosis misses, Waterfall and Body Slam are both still solid threats. And finally, there's Heracross. With a massive base 125 attack and the Guts ability, it's dangerous even without a Flame Orb. Instead, I've equipped it with a White Herb, letting it shake off the defensive drops from its first Close Combat. Its 4 times weakness to flying and only average speed help keep it in check, but it's still more than worthy of being Chuck's ace. But with the 6th badge acquired, it's time to keep moving with this Pokemon League challenge. So let's head east to Mahogany Town. Much like Cianwood City, Mahogany Town doesn't change much between this fictional prequel and the Gen 2 games we all know and love. Price has been training Pokemon for over 50 years, long before the Gold and Silver protagonists were even born. That alone tells me he's held the Mahogany Gym Leader title for decades, making him the clear choice to keep the role in this prequel. Price specializes in Ice types, and if you manage to defeat him, he'll award you with the TM for Ice Shard. Ice Shard is a 40 base attack physical Ice type move that has priority, just like Quick Attack, meaning it'll always go first. Price's team in this prequel will be Sneasel, level 41 with the Keen Eye ability, holding an Oranberry with the moves Quick Attack, Metal Claw, Avalanche, and Ice Shard. Dugong, level 42 with the Thick Fat ability, holding an Icy Rock with the moves Aqua Jet, Ice Beam, Snowscape, and Ice Shard. Jinx, also level 42 with the Oblivious ability, holding a Citrus Berry with the moves Psychic, Lovely Kiss, Icy Wind, and Ice Shard. And finally, his ace, Mamoswine, Level 44 with the Snow Cloak ability, holding a Muscle Band with the moves Ice Fang, Double Hit, Earthquake, and Ice Shard. Sneasel is often overlooked in Gen 2, showing up only in Mount Silver and late game Kanto. In this prequel, I'd fix that by making it available in Ice Path. Including it on Pryce's team adds typing diversity, as Sneasel's part Dark type and gives it the spotlight it deserves. With Sneasel's base 95 attack and 115 speed, it won't have much problem outspeeding most other Pokemon, even without having to use Quick Attack or Ice Shard. Dugong, a returning member of Pryce's Gen 2 team, uses Snowscape to trigger an 8-turn hailstorm thanks to its Icy Rock. While only Mamoswine truly benefits from the weather, the residual damage will still chip away at unprepared teams. Ice Beam is a powerful Ice-type attack that has a chance to freeze the opposing Pokemon, and both Aqua Jet and Ice Shard can quickly finish off a weakened opposing Pokemon due to having increased priority, allowing them to go first. Jinx is a perfect counter to any fighting type you may bring to counter Pryce's Ice types. With a base 115 special attack, Psychic hits hard, and Lovely Kiss can put your team to sleep while Icy Wind slows them down. It makes sweeping through Pryce's team a lot harder than you'd expect. Then there's Mamoswine, Pryce's ace. While I considered keeping Piloswine as Pryce's ace, him being the 7th gym leader makes me feel like he deserves something a little more dangerous. With base 130 attack and 110 HP, Mamoswine hits like a truck. Its Muscle Band boosts the power of Ice Fang, Double Hit, and Ice Shard, but the real threat is Earthquake. With Stab and Muscle Band support, it can wipe out anything that doesn't resist or avoid it. Worse still, 3 of the Ice-type counters, Fire, Rock, and Steel, are all weak to ground. And if Hail is still up, Snow Cloak boosts Mamoswine's evasion by 20%, making it even harder to pin down. So yeah, pray to Arceus that Pryce doesn't end your journey right here. And if, by some strain of luck, you've managed to make it past Pryce, there's just one final stop on your Johto Pokemon League journey. And it's the place that exports more Dragon Tamers than Mount Moon has Zubats. Blackthorn City. Blackthorn City has a legacy all its own. Nestled in the mountains of northeast Johto, it's a place famous for producing dragon tamers. The Dragon's Den, carved deep into the cliffs, is a sacred space reserved only for trainers who prove themselves worthy. The champion himself, Lance, was born and raised here, and now his cousin Claire carries on that legacy as the city's formidable gym leader. In Blackthorn City, only true dragon tamers can claim the title, and Claire more than lives up to that expectation. Despite the limited number of dragon types in the early generations, Claire refuses to let that hold her back. She's trained relentlessly, even challenging the Elite Four and falling short only against Lance. Undeterred, she continues honing her skills and pushing herself further, proving her strength in every battle and cementing her place as one of Johto's most fearsome trainers. If you manage to defeat Claire, she'll award you with a TM for Dragon Pulse, an 85 base power special dragon type move with no drawbacks, just straight up power. But before you can earn that TM, you'll have to get past one of the toughest gym battles in all of Johto. With that said, let's take a look at what Claire's bringing to battle. Gyarados, level 46, with the Intimidate ability, holding a Citrus Berry with the moves Ice Fang, Waterfall, Crunch, and Dragon Dance. Charizard, level 47, with the Blaze ability, holding a Citrus Berry with the moves Smokescreen, Flamethrower, Air Slash, and Dragon Pulse. Dragonair, level 48, with the Shed Skin ability, holding an Eviolite with the moves Thunder Wave, Slam, Aqua Tail, and Dragon Rush. Ampharos, level 49, with the Static ability, holding a Damp Rock with the moves Power Gem, Thunder, Rain Dance, and Dragon Pulse. And finally, her ace, Kingdra, level 50, with the Swift Swim ability, holding an Assault Vest with the moves Hydro Pump, Ice Beam, Hurricane, and Dragon Pulse. Let's start with the most surprising member of Claire's team, Ampharos. In Chinese mythology, a carp that leaps Dragon Gate transforms into a mighty dragon. a legend reflected in Pokemon through Magikarp's evolution into Gyarados. Charizard is also basically a dragon, even without the typing, thanks to its design, fire breathing, and its access to dragon-type moves. Ampharos follows the same pattern. While it starts as a humble, woolly sheep, its Mega Evolution reveals its true dragon side. And even without Mega Evolution in this prequel, Ampharos embodies that hidden dragon spirit. And like Charizard, it naturally learns Claire's TM Dragon Pulse. Its presence not only ties into this legendary symbolism, but also prevents Claire from being a carbon copy of Lance, proving she's a Dragon Master with a team built on both tradition and individuality. Gyarados in its own right is a terrifying lead, with Intimidate to weaken your physical attackers and Dragon Dance to boost its own attack and speed stats. Gyarados can quickly become overwhelming. But if you have a strong electric type, you should be able to handle it. Just watch out for Crunch and Waterfall. Charizard can also be dangerous as it can set up Smokescreen, lowering your Pokemon's accuracy, and then going to town on your team with any combination of Flamethrower, Air Slash, and Dragon Pulse. Though, just like Gyarados, Charizard is weak to electric types, and is 4 times weak to rock types. Set up those Stealth Rocks, and watch Charizard's HP drop to 50% upon entering the battlefield. Dragonair comes in with Eviolite, giving it boosted defenses, making it surprisingly bulky. Thunder Wave slows down opposing Pokemon, Aqua Tail handles rock types, and Dragon Rush is its raw power move, albeit a little shaky in accuracy. Ampharos is more than just support. With Rain Dance and a Damp Rock, it sets the stage for the entire second half of the battle. Under Rain, Thunder becomes 100% accurate and devastating when backed by Ampharos' base 115 special attack. Even if Thunder doesn't affect your Pokemon, Ampharos has Power Gem and Dragon Pulse to fall back on. Finally, there's Kingdra, Claire's ace in your final challenge. With Swift Swim, it doubles its speed in the rain, allowing it to outspeed almost everything. In the rain, Hurricane becomes 100% accurate, and Hydro Pump does boosted damage. Ice Beam and Dragon Pulse provide some serious damage. Giving Kingdra the Assault Vest means that you're better off attacking this Johto dragon on the physical side rather than trying to take it out with special attacking moves. But even then, Kingdra's balanced stats make it a fearsome opponent no matter how you approach it. Claire isn't just strong, she's earned her reputation. She's the final test before the Pokemon League, and she's going to make you prove that you deserve that 8th gym badge. Now that we've reimagined what the Johto gym leaders might have looked like during the events of Red and Blue, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Would you have kept the lineup the same as the original Gen 2 games, or would you have swapped out even more leaders? Did you like Valerie being here, or did you miss Morty? I hope you have a wonderful day, and may Arceus bless you. Bye.